National, the second pick, Blacklist, going for those jungler bands, betting out the Nolan as well as the Guinevere, DEUS VULT, betting out the Matilda as well as the 1-1. I'm just going to put my point in as well because you guys were talking about the mentality game. I kind of feel like Blacklist mentality, they don't lose to the same team twice, is going to help them out in this best of 5. Because I feel like in the long series, Blacklist is going to learn much more about their opponents than what their opponents can learn about them.
Definitely possible. I think there's a lot of angles you could come at this. Blacklist, I'm wondering, do they still have anything up their sleeve, and are they going to need to use it here? We saw that DEUS has a little bit of a larger hero pool right now with 25 picks over Black, only showing 20. But it could also mean that Blacklist is willing to just sit. They're very comfortable. They have what they need already, and it's been working very well for them.
At this point, I kind of feel like Farmis is going to be a pretty solid pick here. But again, giving Yue that Valentina is going to be very dangerous because Yue is one of those players that doesn't matter what kind of composition the opponent wants, he'll just take the Valentina just because it's going to serve the team incredibly. So I kind of feel like this is where DEUS VULT, they're really considering. Do they want the Farmis? Do they want something else like an Angela?
Or a Lilia, right? Something that they have been able to first pick a lot of times, but they go for the Baksha instead. A pick that kind of gave Blacklist International in the early game up against Geek Fam yesterday when Nile was on it a lot of problems. So maybe that might be the angle of attack for DEUS VULT. They want to take control in the early stage and snowball.
So do we think we see a response like the Valentina Bruno here? A lot of things still on. I feel like the Basha pick, yes, it's solid, but it's we don't see a first pick blue side a whole lot. Just because a lot of time there are some power marksmen on the field, there's some power mid laners on the field. I think it's decent, especially like you said, taking it away from Sensui. It gives them some fast pace as well. But how much are they sacrificing just for the Basha here? I
feel like they're trying to threaten Blacklist International to pick up something like the Angela, because the Angela as well as the Baksha is very good tempo play from the early going to the mid. So Blacklist International, it's up to them. They're picking up the Bruno and the Valentina, so they're not staying away from the game plan. Even if DEUS VULT, they pick up something like a Faramis, something like an Angela, Blacklist is going to have it too. And again, we saw Yue on this Valentina. It's Yuelentina.
Yuelentina?
Yuelentina.
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 I like it. I like it very much.
I don't, but thank you very much.
It's great. It's great. DEUS, on the other hand, still looking for 2 more picks. Do they lock in the marksman now? The Ixia maybe? We saw it last time. Carvey used it great to counter against it. Faramis, solid as well.
At this point, I would kind of pick up the Claude if they're very comfortable with the Claude, but looks like they're going for the Terizla, where again, let me just say one thing. This is the stark difference that both teams' playstyle is. For Blacklist International, they're very comfortable with disengage. They're very comfortable with kiting, and they're very comfortable with a prolonged team fight. One of the reasons why I kind of feel like the Akai is banned out, because the Akai is going to make it very difficult for DEUS VULT to start any kind of team fight. So I feel like the ban is dictating the picks here for DEUS VULT.
And right now for Blacklist International, right, this is the question now. For DEUS VULT, they've already secured a basically trio mid and also that top side, a really strong side. Blacklist, it seems like the question, before I even asked it, was already answered. They want to compete in that trio mid division. They want to try to get neutral objectives as much as possible, and they need to facilitate that with giving a utility pick, a good one to last hit, like the Fredrid for Sensui. Yesterday we saw Akais all throughout. Now it's taken away, so the Fredrid. What do you think about this choice, right? I mean, the Fredrid has fallen hard out of popularity, out of the prio list, and it hasn't really had the best of tournaments so far.
I mean, Sensui has had a good Fredrin, though. Blacklist is one of the same teams that have had decent Fredrin games overall. They're one of the same teams right now that are like falling back to that regularly. Something important to point out, though, RENEJAY, the heel man, 100% win rate on the raft right now, and I almost thought they were gonna slot that in before they slotted in the Fredrin. So at this point, I think something important for DEUS, with RENEJAY not picked up right now, they need to focus hard in that hero pool. I think maybe ban out the raft here. They decide to go for the Labu instead. Maybe not a whole lot of fear.
I feel like it's because that's what Geek Fam tried to do against Blacklist, and it didn't work.
Yeah, honestly, at this point, I feel like for Blacklist, one of the advantages that they have for RENEJAY, it is like a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. He can play a catch hero. He can play a healer hero. At this point, it does become a situation. Going up against the Faramis, the Rafaela is very solid because not a lot of dashes coming in from DEUS VULT, so that slow coming in from the Rafaela, it is going to have a difference. But I feel like the moment they see who is going to be their roamer is going to dictate. Is this going to be a Rafaela game? Is this going to be something different, like a Kaja, like a Joe game? So I'm looking at Blacklist International with the lineup that they have. I kind of feel like we need more of the heel man rather than the hit man. And now banning out the Minotaur as well. I don't know. I kind of feel like having something like a Rafa, having something like a Estes would be pretty good.
I think so too, right? For DEUS VULT, they have such a big AoE comp already. Going for the Estes, I think the Estes might be a bit more risky, right? Considering there's so much AoE damage and also already some anti-regen built into their composition with that Baksha pick. So something like a Rafaela gets you out, gets you that maneuverability as well. But something else that might come through for Blacklist is that Diggy. We haven't seen it for Blacklist International, but we have seen it from Sawo. It might be also not just a pick that's great for Blacklist, but a good deny pick from DEUS VULT.
I think, yeah, and we know Blacklist has that in your kit. You mentioned the Swiss Army knife. I don't think it's anything completely out of their range. Do we jump into game one with that, though? Do we deny that immediately? Daewoo didn't fall back to the Diggy pick until game 5 last night, and it makes me wonder, like, was that even a pick that they used a whole lot in the past? Was it even a pick that was very important to them, or was it something that just started really kind of hitting fruition for them in the M series? Blacklist International on the gun now, looking for the first pick.
I kind of feel like for that Diggy pick, it's the strongest when you don't expect it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, after 3 games, after 4 games, they're like, oh, Sawa's going to pick this, going to pick that, and then all of a sudden he picks the Diggy. He's like, how can we forget about the Diggy? Now the Paquito getting picked up here.
You can hear a crowd. That's a signature pick for Agent Zero. Edward Balboa was his nickname at M3.
And having this Paquito on their lineup, they have multiple ways to play the map. And since you talk about Diggy, let's talk about Diggy.
Yeah, the master of time, hoot hoot, Sawo, has recorded 100% win rate with Diggy in 4 games. So 4 games with the RAF on RENEJAY,
100%.
4 games with the Diggy on Sawo,
100%.
100%.
So total, quick maths, 8 games, 100%.
Oh yeah,
200%. 8, right?
No. I mean,
that's not how it works.
I don't think that's how it works.
I agree with you, Trex.
But you also agree with Miracle.
Nah, Mirko can go to the side. DEUS VULT now, having the Brody as well as having the Angela here, a lot of protection. But I'm looking at the early to mid. The team has to move as a team to really contest for objectives here.
You know, we saw a great game from Daewoo the other day. The Sawo Carvey combo with the Harkard and the Bruno. This time it's going to be the Brody, but still, we know that combination is lethal.
I kind of feel like for DEUS VULT, it is going to be a matchup where you have to look at the rotations 1 minute 30 to the first 3 minutes. That's where we will see whether they can actually handle what Blacklist is going to do. And now the final pick here, now that they see the Brody as well as the Angela, quite a lot of good roamer picks for RENEJAY.
And it's also still very explosive for DEUS VULT, right? They have a lot of just burst damage in the start of the fight, but then when it gets to that prolonged stage,
TIGREAL.
Blacklist say we can try to do what you've been doing. We can team fight our way as well. If you want to be explosive, we have a TIGREAL here with that implosion. We're not going to see the heal man, we're going to see the hit man.
Here's the thing, looking at the composition from Blacklist as well as DEUS VULT, Blacklist can play a composition of a 4-1 and then slowly get into a 5-man game again. So macro play, I kind of feel like Blacklist with their composition, they have the advantage here.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a whole lot to look at. RENEJAY getting a very aggressive roam pick. But we're about to jump into the land of dawn. Come on, Philippines! And viewers from around the world, it's game number 1 of the semi-final lower bracket. Blacklist International going up against DEUS VULT. It's going to be a hype one, boys. Who we got?
5 seconds till the enemy reaches the battle.
I was worried for a second there. I feel like even the crowd hold their breath for a bit. But now we're jumping into the game. And again, I want to see the early rotations coming in from both teams. Looking like a lot of protection coming in from Blacklist International, making sure that Sensui's early movement all around the map, all around the jungle is not going to get interrupted.
And I really like that point, right? Because for Blacklist International, you mentioned they have more ways to get in this game. Mainly, I would say that XP lane advantage with the mobility, right? Maybe when it comes to clear and trades, not as good, but that mobility from the Paquito will definitely help him get more rotations on the map with Sensui to get that trio mid running.
All right, so we got the Hitman Paquito. We got RENEJAY and a very aggressive roamer as well. I feel like Blacklist may be able to get a little bit aggressive in the early game, maybe even push into enemy jungle, try to invade, try to disrupt the aggression that DEUS VULT wants to bring to them.
Right now, looking at the emblem set here, looking at Carvey with the Brody with the Master Assassin, it looks like he wants to stay in the lane for quite a bit, trying to get a solo kill if possible.
Look at this roam though, Edward coming down, RENEJAY very low. Sunset Lover needs to run away. Sawo gonna be the target, but Sensui will just commit the retreat. Doesn't really want to go for anything too much in the early stage.
All right, so Blacklist International making some quick rotations. Edward is definitely going to be able to move around the map a bit more than Kid Bomba, but anything crazy about these first item buys?
Oh.
Honestly, looking at the Elegant Gem here coming in from Sunset Lover, I kind of feel like he's going to have a better time around the turtle, but I want to talk about the rotations here because Edward cut the lane very, very fast, and now Sensui is targeting the EXP lane.
It's a good chunk of damage onto Kid Bomba. He's forced back. Magister rotating up top as well. Bomba forced to use that regen early, and he's going to lose a lot of prio in that lane.
And he loses the gold crab over to UA there. Turtle going to be up in just a few seconds.
Rotation advantage utilized by Blacklist International. Now onto the turtle, the first one of the game. Appraiser's Rat by Sensui to get the job done even faster. Edward in the back, knockout strike to zone them away, but now it's going to be Edward caught in a bad spot. A good Nether Realm coming down, the implosion. Disengages for the RENEJAY, sweeps them back all the way to Edward, but they have to disengage. RENEJAY with a flicker, defensively. Sawo on top of Magister, running RENEJAY down. Yue has the flicker ready, but he doesn't need to commit it. He falls back in the way. Kid Bomba looking for a dive. Yue very low, looking for the outplay, finds it. Falls, and Yue claims first blood.
Daewoo biting off a little more than they could chew right there, but well played from both sides. Blacklist coming out on top though.
Right now we're looking at a hero counter here for the Boxia as well as the Fredrin. 50% win rate, but I gotta say for Blacklist International, the game that they're playing is priority. Edward having that priority allows them to maneuver better in the fight. And here's the thing, this is a DEUS VULT thing. When they see an opportunity, they go for it. And Blacklist International, this is what I'm talking about. They're very good at kiting. The moment they understand they can't win, they're gonna have a safe distance. So DEUS VULT, they gotta be careful. They're playing into Blacklist International's plan.
Man, I gotta say, the agents are going crazy right now.
Hard guard coming down, Carvey with re-engage onto RENEJAY. Now it's Magister, Shield Unity, locking Sensui down just for a bit. Sensui racking up those stacks into the Appraiser's Wrath. Yue still has a flicker, decides to pop it up, but now it's gonna be the chase down and the torn apart memory to equalize in the early game. That's 1-1.
I would say the only mistake there was that Yue was separated from his team, and because of that, maximum damage coming in from Carvey because of his emblem setup with the Master Assassin. So if RENEJAY was around closer to Carvey, he could have survived.
Daewoo, you know this is when they're feeling good. This is the mentality that they need coming in this game. Sawo dropping the TPs, dropping the taunts right now, but we are having a first look at these items, LaFell.
I kind of feel like the power spike is going to be a little bit faster for Sunset Lover just because the item that he's building is a little bit cheaper. But before that, Edward goes in.
A big punch onto Sawo, knocks him out. Sunset Lover zoned away. Now it's Magister who's looking for an angle back to try to claim this turtle, but Sensui is one level ahead. Yue dealing some good damage to Terrify as well, to pressure Kid Bomba. That's an explosion from RENEJAY. Force him to Nether Realm, but Edward looking for the flank right now. Jumps in with a jab. Another one to take the Nether Realm HP. That's Yue with another Nether Realm as well, and RENEJAY will fall. DEUS VULT have won on this team fight. Appraiser's Wrath.
Nice flicker
from Kid Bomba with amazing flicker. Sensui disengaging. Now it's going to be Edward jumping on a Sunset Lover, finding the kill. And Carvey, flicker forward onto the minion waves. Edward still surviving. The torn apart memory, dealing not enough damage to take him down as Oheb rotates as well. Meanwhile, Magister with a good steal onto the enemy purple buff. Blacklist International lose out on this turtle pit fight.
We're only 5 minutes in, guys. 5 minutes in on game one, and DEUS VULT and Blacklist International are swinging right now. It's been a kill a minute, technically.
I kind of feel like for Blacklist, the idea is we start the engage. Don't allow DEUS VULT to start the engage, because for DEUS VULT to win the team fight, they got to go in hard. They got to make sure whatever they want, they get it as fast as they can, because Blacklist International, even though they don't have a healer, this is how they play. They know how to play prolonged team fights. So Blacklist International, they're completely fine with committing first, force DEUS VULT to use all of their skills, and then they just take over the team fight later. Blacklist International, they're playing with DEUS VULT. DEUS VULT has to recognize this. You got to be proactive. Don't let Blacklist do whatever they want first.
And that's due to the rotation speed, right? That game of prio that Blacklist International are slowly utilizing to get this lead. It just seems like DEUS VULT, even when they want to retaliate, they get there a bit too late.
Man, Edward is definitely going to be the saving grace of the team right now. 2-0-0. He had about a 1,000K gold lead over Kid Bomba, or about an 800K gold lead over Kid Bomba. He is just feeling himself right now.
I can't believe he has 1,000K.
1,000K.
That's like, what, a million?
It's a lot.
That's a lot of, yeah.
You understood what I was saying.
Yeah. Nah, you know, analysts. Anyways, looking at the situation here, looks like Blacklist International, they are hovering around the turtle pit. They're trying to figure out where DEUS VULT is. They see Magister. And I kind of feel like they should have an idea of where Sunset Lover as well as Carby is. They do. They just confirmed it. They just confirmed it. So now, Blacklist International, they're waiting for a setup coming in from RENEJAY.
Sensui has got an angle, a great one. The last hit, he jumps in all the way, but Magister is the one who picks it up. A bit of a miscalculation by Sensui as Carby dishes out some damage. Edward, caught right now, flickers out, but will still fall to Kid Bomba.
They needed that. They needed that kill on Edward. It was very important to slow him down. DEUS VULT still behind, but keeping up overall.
Implosion onto that top side, shoving him back as well. Another realm saves him just for a bit. Carby with a good stun onto Yue, but that's another realm stolen away. Torn apart memory going to be used up, but not the right timing. Yue flickers out the safety, and just like that, both teams disengage once again. Sensui fading.
Let me just say, Sunset Lover is a lover. He's all around the map. Every single time someone gets picked off, quote unquote picked off, he's there with the NetherRealm. The movement coming in, and especially because we looked at his emblem set, all about movement speed. He wants to make sure that he's a utility mid laner, but the thing is, now he has the Necklace of Durance. 2 more items, he becomes a damage dealer as well.
Definitely very true. Stats starting to get evened out here. Taking a look at some of the items. Oheb's closing in on that Berserker's Fury. Once he gets that and he can start rotating around the map a bit, and there it is, it just locked in. Now we're going to start seeing some damage really start to unload from Oheb.
That's the thing, right? For the power spikes, even though Oheb is gaining gold at a very good pace, Brody's going to hit his power spike a bit earlier. So Blacklist International need to be very careful about this mid-game power spike. They're already getting turrets across the board. Carby's doing the same, trading it up top. But Blacklist seems like they want to go for more. I don't know if Kid Bomba can defend this all alone, but he should be able to clear the waves up. Penalty zone onto the back. Magister flanking as well onto RENEJAY, but it's a good peel. Kid Bomba with a flicker. Implosion to save the team, but Oheb gets ran down. It's another realm a bit late by Yue as he stole it just earlier, but his nether realm HP is getting taken now. RENEJAY isolated from the rest of the team and should be taken down by the 4-man squad of DEUS VULT. They get the turret though.
I gotta say, man, looking at Blacklist International, that was good, but DEUS VULT, what's the communication there? Because Kid Bomba was very patient. The moment the close proximity comes in, they're like, yeah, guys, let's just go in. That was a good call from DEUS VULT.
A risky move from Edward. Falls in a torn apart memory in the mid lane. He tried to defend that all alone, and now with no Edward, Sensui, his odds of getting this red tree down will be very, very slim. Kid Bomba poking him down. Yue coming down as well. The Appraiser's Wrath gets rid of Kid Bomba, but it bought enough time ready for Magister to secure the Lord. Carby, gotta be careful. The hard guard comes in. Yue dashing forward the face, but Carby falls. Oheb getting a lot of damage done. The implosion flicker combo comes in from RENEJAY as he finds another, and it's a double kill for Oheb.
All it takes is one play to turn a game around. DEUS VULT secures the Lord with Blacklist International. This is something they've been doing for the past 2 days now.
I would say that's not worthwhile trade for DEUS VULT. The Lord, one Lord against like what, 3 deaths? Totally not worth it, especially because he was on the carry. Carby made a crucial mistake. At that HP, he should have backed off. No matter the vision, even if you just see one person against a team like Blacklist, someone's waiting around the corner. That was a total mistake coming in from Carby.
I think they thought they had staggered the death timers enough to make a big play again happen, just like they did into Edward in the mid lane. Magister, all alone, has a hard guard to keep him very safe. Sunset Lover doing the best he can to give or to find value with the Lord, but unfortunately, due to that mistake, they won't be able to find any value here, maybe aside from the tier 1 in the mid lane, which does equalizes things a bit more. The minions should be able to take it down. No! Edward punches the minions out.
I love the fact, though, that DEUS VULT right now is bringing it to Blacklist. A lot of people probably came into this wondering if they were going to be able to match up against such a top-tier team.
looking at the items here, a big game changer for Sao, having the Flash of the Oasis, as well as having the fleeting time, means that DEUS VULT getting one kill is going to matter so much to them because they can prolong the team fight even longer. Having the Flash of the Oasis makes it so that for DEUS VULT, honestly, if Sao goes into Magister or Kid Bomba, might benefit him more, and Carvey just tries to free hit.
Opening up the map, Magister now going to be taunted down. The hard guard on him. It's not going to be used up just yet. Carvey as well finds those stacks. Now it's the time for the question, LaFell. My question. DEUS VULT have more healing for consistent for long team fights, but Blacklist International have more damage for long team fights. So, who wins out in these long team fights?
I would say Blacklist International have been playing this game for such a long time. I feel like the advantage is still on them, even though, like, on paper, looking at the draft, it should be DEUS VULT. But you cannot, like, you can't explain the numbers of experience. I still think it's for Blacklist International.
Yeah, definitely still the favorite, but honestly, it could turn at any moment. Carvey taking one death, still doing well. Also locked in the Malefic Roar, I mean, sitting right behind Oheb in terms of gold, but Oheb is definitely going to have a higher peak right here, going to have a higher scale overall. DEUS VULT may be running out of time.
That's the thing, right? He's already hit critical mass, so DEUS VULT really needs to look for an angle, and just like, this is when I say it, Carvey gets engaged on. The hard guard used up already. A pretty big resource in the 12th minute of the game.
As long as DEUS VULT doesn't get any kill or assist, for like, what, 30 seconds, it's a big win for Blacklist International. The moment Blacklist makes a mistake, gives over a kill, then the fleeting time will trigger and it will basically null the advantage. So now Blacklist International, 3,000 gold lead. They're in a better spot here for the Lord.
And they're great at Lord dances here. Holding it down, resetting again, the quick discipline as they get rid of the midway, but Carvey's doing the same thing on the other side of the map in the top lane. Mid lane pushing down, they need to deal with that or they're going to lose their tier 2 turret. Sunset Lover barely gets there, and Kid Bomba gets isolated because of that. He takes a whole lot of damage now, and Blacklist International done a lot of damage on the Lord.
Oh, no.
Magister shield unity canceled. Kid Bomba with the penalty zone with the hard guard as well. Yue going to be isolated from the team right now as he pops in another round, but that's going to be the implosion.
Oh.
Disengage in the back. Still, Blacklist International needs to run away. DEUS VULT are charging in. They're screaming DEUS VULT as RENEJAY flickers back at Oheb. Finds the damage necessary to take Kid Bomba down.
And Edward with the moves, Edward with the grooves. A quick little step in just to pick up the kill onto Kid Bomba, showing who's the better EXP.
Blacklist was patient, man. Again, this is where the experience goes in. They understand the strengths of the hero of DEUS VULT. They're conditional. The damage is conditional. When you're clumped up, you're gonna receive maximum damage. So just go away, use all the dashes that you have, create your distance, and having the Haas Claw on this Bruno, alongside with the Malefic Roar, with the Berserker Fury, just hitting the jungle creep is gonna heal you up so much.
And the awareness as well, right, LaFell? The fact that they know they have Oheb dealing this much damage, you don't need to go for engages, RENEJAY. Just use the implosion appeal.
And they keep on, I mean, they're literally walking into the implosion at this point. RENEJAY doesn't even have to try to hit anybody, he just waits for them, because that's the way that DEUS VULT plays. It makes the TIGREAL look like it was meant just to counter their aggressive play style here. So Daewoo needs to find a way around that.
So something to note, even if there's no Akai, the TIGREAL is there doing basically the same job.
This is going to be tough. Their wave clear isn't too good. DEUS VULT in the bottom lane. Edward getting the turret down all the way, top side as well. It's the Lord who did the work. Now it's only down to one base turret left for DEUS VULT in this defense. And Blacklist International, they choose to take the discipline route. They will disengage.
So LaFell, at this point, DEUS VULT sitting in the back, 6,000 gold behind, you know, it's definitely a hard one, but we did like their composition overall. Is this just a time of, do we just need to wait it out and wait for the big play to happen? Or are the odds even less than that?
No, the big play is if somehow Kid Bomba or Sunset Lover can get onto Oheb, because Oheb is the reason why they've been winning this prolonged team fight. The damage and the sustainability. Ooh. If they can figure out a way to drop him down, there is a chance. Because without Oheb, I would say, even though they have the experience, they can't win, it's just that they won't lose the fight.
It's crazy, the fact that, you know, obviously for Yue, for Oheb, we've been seeing these numbers pop up, but you'd expect Carvey and Sunset Lover to be doing the most damage for DEUS VULT, but it's the Bomba himself that's up there, just second to Oheb Is he building damage or is just a normal build? He's just finding the right targets?
I would say it's because he keeps finding those AoE damage. Because Blacklist International, they do like to clump up. And we saw the engagements coming in from Kid Bomba with the penalty zone. If I'm not mistaken, he only has the Fury Hammer. And I don't think at this point it's going to be all that great unless he goes for a Hunter Strike. Hunter Strike, maybe. But only if your mentality is to get OHEB.
All right, so DEUS, I think they're going to have to try to go for this Lord. But if they're going to do that, Magister can't take too much damage before they engage. He needs to make sure he gets close and maybe look for the cheap play here. DEUS taking their time with it, though.
The kiting is beautiful from Blacklist International. The Lord dance here has been phenomenal for Blacklist. Sensui's on it. Yue doing some damage. Penalty zone. Then locks on to Yue. It's on the front memory coming down into the back line, but another round is going to be popped in. RENEJAY, implosion, locking him down, but it's another round. RENEJAY going to be zoned away, and Sensui finds a massive Appraiser's Wrath to take it down. Edward loses immortality. Yue very low, still able to survive. Carvey going to get the stun, but OHEB flickers forward. That's a triple. Yue steals it away, and now it's just Sunset Lover all alone in his base. He's done it before. Can he do it again?
The agents are on fire. A valiant effort from DEUS VULT. The Blacklist are closing in.
He won't be able to. 1 second on Sunset Lover against 5 members, 5 agents who stay targeted down the base. Game number 1. Blacklist International strikes first.
Blacklist International repping the Philippines right now, showing DEUS VULT who runs this show.
Again, Blacklist understands this game, and they make